Nice that you looking at. All Eras explained from the Eras Tour Part 2. Reputation was released on November 10, 2017, when Swift was 27. It was her sixth studio album and heralded her return to the public eye. It is widely known as a revenge album, covering her anger towards Kanye West's betrayal and recovery after being cancelled by the public, but those who know it well know it's also a love album to her new boyfriend at the time, actor Joe Alwyn. Swift had been dating Calvin Harris for a year and a half between 2015 and 2016, and then quickly moved on to Tom Hiddleston before dating Joe Alwyn. She never wrote a single song for Harris in Reputation, instead focusing on the Hiddleston drama and then Joe. The rock-heavy album spent 4 weeks at the top of the Billboard 200 charts. It also brought us a darker aesthetic, with deep lipsticks, a shaggy bob and snake motifs being key. We also didn't get any secret messages for Reputation, so all our clues are from her lyrics. There was "Ready for It," clearly about wanting a man, but it is debated whether it's Alwyn or Styles, with the lyrics, "In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby, baby, endgame, delicate, gorgeous, king of my heart, dress, call it what you want," and New Year's Day appear to all be about her fledgling relationship with Alwyn. There's an element of anxiety there about whether or not it would develop, with lyrics like, "'Cause I like you? Is it cool that I said all that? Is it chill that you're in my head?" We also see the Tom Hiddleston blip show up in this album with "Getaway Car," detailing her relationship with him. Essentially escaping what she had with Harris, but knowing that their exciting ride was never meant to go far. "You were driving the getaway car, we were flying. But we'd never get far." We also get, "This is why we can't have nice things," saying that Swift cannot have a friendly relationship with Kanye West because he always tears it to shreds. This lyric explains it well. "It was so nice being friends again. There I was giving you a second chance. But you stabbed me in the back while shaking my hand." The Reputation Stadium Tour started in May 2018, and was a lot darker than others with snake motifs and her famous wavy lob. Reputation was Swift's final album under Big Machine Records and was part of the masters that were sold to producer Scooter Braun. Reputation, Taylor's version, has not yet been released. Taylor Swift's seventh era and studio album Lover was released on August 23, 2018, when Swift was 28. The album debuted at the top of the Billboard 200, her sixth consecutive album to do so. And it was the best-selling album of the year. It was released through Republic Records and was never owned by Scooter Braun. While many believe the album is all about love, it's a lot less romantic overall than Reputation, covering other political themes from that time: sexism, Donald Trump, the LGBTQ+ rights movement and more. The album opens with "I Forgot That You Existed," the first song she'd written about Calvin Harris, featuring the lyrics, "I forgot that you existed, it isn't love, it isn't hate. It's just indifference. Slay, Taylor, slay." There's also an element of excitement about the relationship with Joe Alwyn as it was getting serious with the likes of Cruel Summer, I Think He Knows and Cornelia Street. We see Swift becoming more confident in the relationship with Lover, Paper Rings London Boy, and Daylight, with the latter reading, "I don't want to look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't want to think of anything else now that I thought of you." We see Swift explore sexism in The Man. "I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man," and LGBTQ+ anthem, Me. Swift told Good Morning America, "Me. is a song about embracing your individuality and really celebrating it and owning it. It's believed that Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince refers to Donald Trump's hold on America during that period, placing Swift as a celebrator of American glory, while Trump, the Heartbreak Prince, makes everyone so sad they paint the town blue. Also interesting that blue is so synonymous with the Democratic Party. We also see Swift get vulnerable on this album, with Soon You'll Get Better, dedicated to her mum Andrea Swift, regarding her battle with cancer. This era was hallmarked by pastel pinks, blues, yellows and purples, signaling a lighter era of rebirth and light following the dark of Reputation. Swift also dyed the ends of her hair pink during this era. The Lover Tour was unfortunately cancelled due to COVID-19, although she did perform on September 9, 2019 in Paris in the famed City of Lover concert, which is one of our only live performances from this era. Folklore was released as a surprise album on July 24, 2020, in the middle of the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic. Taylor was 30 at the time. Many fans were still at home in lockdown, and Folklore saw a return to a folky, alternative country sound and featured a lot of strong storytelling and lyricism. Folklore debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and earned her another Album of the Year at the Grammys. It also outsold every other album released that year. There is a lot of storytelling on this album, which is not based on her life. It's the first time she'd really done that since the early days of Fearless and Debut. Coming up with one of the most iconic teenage love triangles of all time, Betty, James's, and Augustine. Their story is covered from three sides in the songs Betty, from James's point of view, Cardigan, from Betty's point of view, and August, from the other woman, fan named Augustine's point of view. Swift flexed her songwriting prowess in The Last Great American Dynasty, about the woman who used to own her Rhode Island house, Rebecca Harkness, and their similarities. We see Swift get introspective about her need for love in Mirrorball, and the thrill and heartbreak of cheating in illicit affairs. We also get more personal songs, namely track 5, My Tears Ricochet, about having her masters stolen with the permission of someone she once looked up to, CEO of Big Machine Records, Scott Borchetta. You know, I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you, as you bury me. She writes with the jewels an allegory for her albums. Without a doubt there are songs in there about loving Joe, including Invisible String and Peace, with the latter exploring her fear that she could never give him peace in the chaos of her life in the spotlight. Folklore was hallmarked by a grayscale color palette and cottagecore energy. Think cottages, spindly wooded glades and cozy knits. Swift wore her fringe wild and curly, and her hair in a bun for a lot of this era. Despite the grayscale, Folklore has a summery feeling. Evermore was released on December 11, 2020, 2 days before Swift turned 31. It was another surprise album like Folklore and featured the extra writing she had done during her time in lockdown, which was highly charged with creativity. It is Swift's 9th studio album and era, and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. It was 2021's best-selling alternative album in the US. Evermore leans even more heavily into storytelling, with the likes of Champagne Problems, a song about leaving a man as he proposes, 'Tis the Damn Season, about striking up an old romance when home for Christmas, and No Body, No Crime featuring Haim, which is about a woman being murdered by her husband, and then avenged by her best friend. However, we also saw some more introspective songs. There was Willow, about Olwyn, who can forget her repetitive, That's My Man lines, and Marjorie, dedicated to her grandmother who was also a singer. In fact, she interpolated a section of her grandmother singing opera into the song when she says the line, "And if I didn't know better, I'd think you were singing to me now." We also see lyrics directly aimed at Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun regarding her stolen masters, including, "It's time to go. He's got my past frozen behind glass, but I've got me." Swift also addresses them and Kanye in the Long Story Short lyric, "Your nemesis will defeat themselves before you get the chance to swing." Evermore is famed for its warmer aesthetic, rusty browns, and more wintry energy. Swift kept her fringe curly, but instead favored a single braid at the back of her head during this era. It is often referred to as Folklore's sister album due to the similar style of writing and production and short amount of time between their launches. With Folklore being the more successful of the two, hardcore Swift fans are incredibly protective of this album and making sure it gets the credit it deserves. Midnights was released on October 21, 2022 when Swift was 32. It is a concept album covering midnights in her life when she was up, either happily in love or haunted by the ghosts of her past. It's her 10th studio album and was also released under Republic Records. It was released originally in a 13-track album but has been released in multiple versions since then, including the 3 AM tracks and Till Dawn edition. It's a pop album with a slightly alternative feel in the 3 AM tracks, thanks to her producer on those, The National's Aaron Dessner. The album debuted at the top of the Billboard 200 and was the best-selling album in 2022. As an album that recounts nights throughout her life, it's fair to say that it covers a lot of the boyfriends, dramas, and controversies she's gone through over the years. Tracks like Maroon outline a darker, more mature Red. Some think this is her processing the Gyllenhaal relationship years later, while others think it has to do with her split from Alwyn. We also see Would've, Could've, Should've referencing John Mayer with the line, "I damn sure never would have danced with the devil at 19, the age she was when they dated." Swift also takes the opportunity to explore her own demons that haunt her in the evenings on tracks like Anti-Hero and Mastermind. Now that we know Swift has split with Joe Alwyn, many believe The Great War, You're on Your Own Kid, and Bigger Than the Whole Sky are about losing him. The latter has also been widely rumored to be about miscarriage but has never been proven. Many see Midnights as a breakup album, although we didn't have that context when it was announced. There are other songs on the album that are more positive about Joe, including Lavender Haze and Sweet Nothing. Many believe that Midnight Rain could be about either Tom Hiddleston or Taylor Lautner with lyrics like, "He was sunshine, I was midnight rain." We also see the song, Question, which interpolates the backing track of Out of the Woods, making it clear that it's a reprisal of her situation with Harry Styles. It goes, "Did you wish you'd put up more of a fight? Oh, when she said it was too much. Do you wish you could still touch her? It's just a question." Finally, Vigilante Shit dishes the dirt on Scooter Braun, his white lies being found out by the FBI and his split with his wife. "She looks so pretty, driving in your Benz." We also get the song, Bejeweled, which has a double meaning. Partly that she's shining now more than ever despite the people that tried to bring her down, but also that she has all her jewels back, referring to her lost masters that she has now re-recorded. There are 3 more tracks to know on Midnights. High Infidelity is the second song thought to be written about Calvin Harris, elaborating on what went on towards the end of the relationship. Some key lyrics include, "Put on your headphones and burn my city. Your picket fence is sharp as knives. I was dancing around. dancing around it. And, you know, there's many different ways that you can kill the one you love. The slowest way is never loving them enough. After the release of Midnights, Swift released 2 further songs that we can only assume are more recent hits. Different. A song about a breakup hurting more because the person you're splitting from was so important to you. And You're Losing Me, a song about a slow breakup where one partner stops fighting to keep the love going. It is now believed, in the context of her split with Olwyn, that both are about him. One of the hard-hitting lyrics in the latter song is, "I wouldn't marry me either," a pathological people-pleaser, suggesting that Swift had wanted to get engaged to Olwyn but he resisted. For Midnights, Swift returned to her dark color palette, in midnight blues, purples, and many sparkles and jewels. She's been wearing her hair long and straight, with a fringe, and her classic red lip. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.